We live in a weird and wonderful world, and the way we study, explore, and understand that world, as well as make progress, is called science. Today, I'm going to focus on the weird, the things that make you go, huh? And if that doesn't at least stir a sense of wonder in you, maybe it'll get you through a round of trivia at the local pub. I'm Mike with List 25, and from dark green blood to moths with no mouths, here are 25 weird science facts you may not know. 25. At least half of Earth's oxygen comes from the ocean, not trees. Tiny aquatic plants called phytoplankton live near the surface of the water, drift with the currents, and generally do what plants do: make oxygen as a byproduct of taking in sunlight and carbon dioxide. 24. You fart after you die. Any gases being held inside by clenched muscles get released. Gases also build up from bacteria in decomposition, so there's more where that came from. 23. Microbiologists at the University of Idaho say that there are about 10 times the number of bacterial cells in your body as there are human cells. However, this is a good thing, as we need most of those bacteria. The overwhelming majority of them are beneficial. 22. 10% of Europeans are naturally immune to the HIV virus due to a genetic mutation. Scientists believe this mutation was a result of all the plagues in the Middle Ages. So your ancestors survived the time of the Black Death and the pox, and today you're immune to HIV. Genetics are weird, man. 21. Conifer oils, think pine trees, actually contain an anti-inflammatory compound called alpha-pinene. This has been used to treat bronchial issues such as asthma and is being studied for other inflammatory diseases. 20. Playing a moderate amount of video games is actually good for you. It boosts your memory and multitasking skills, can help those with dyslexia, increases coordination, and reduces stress. 19. There's a migraine medication, sumatriptan, that can actually cause some people's blood to turn dark green when taken in large doses. It causes something called sulfahemoglobinemia, which basically means that there's sulfur in your hemoglobin. That's not exactly a good thing. Don't bleed green, kids. 18. People actually avoid information that threatens their happiness and worldview. They will surround themselves with things they agree with, basically creating their own reality. According to researchers at Carnegie Mellon University, people often avoid information that could help them to make better decisions if they think the information might be painful to receive. It's not those ignorant people, it's actually all of us to one degree or another. 17. Luna moths have no mouths. Once they emerge from their cocoon, they have a 7-day lifespan during which they mate and then starve to death. And yes, it would be a great band name, but there's already a band called the Luna Moth. 16. Coffee is the most widely used recreational drug we know of. It's also one of the most addictive. It's a stimulant like cocaine. When someone says they need a cup of coffee or that they're grumpy before coffee in the morning, they aren't kidding. They may be having withdrawal symptoms. 15. Tears you cry when you're upset actually contain a hormone that's a natural painkiller. Your body releases this hormone when you're under stress. So if you ever feel like you need to just sit and have a good cry, your body's just trying to comfort itself. 14. Hot and cold water sound different when being poured. It's actually noticeable to the human ear if you pay attention. Water changes viscosity, aka its thickness or stickiness, depending on temperature. Long story short, the colder the water, the higher the pitch, whereas pouring something hot like, say, coffee, is going to have a lower, more comforting pitch. 13. There are animals and plants considered to be biologically immortal. While they can and do die, this is due to injury or disease. They don't really age, at least not in the sense of breaking down, and won't die from old age. Jellyfish and lobsters are two examples of this. 12. The smell that grass gives off when it's cut is actually a distress signal. You're basically smelling the grass screaming in pain, but don't tell social media or we'll have a hashtag about it. 11. Velociraptors were actually only about the size of a turkey, not the 6 to 7 foot beasts we've come to know and love from that Dinosaur Park franchise. Those raptors were actually based on a dinosaur called Utahraptor. So in that scene in the first movie with the kid talking about a giant turkey, actual velociraptors weren't even giant turkeys.
10.
Honey, when sealed, does not rot or go bad. It's literally edible thousands of years later. Egyptian tombs have been found with jars of still edible honey inside. Please don't tweet this at Bernie. He's had enough.
9.
Sunflowers are sometimes used to clean up nuclear waste and radioactive soil. Sunflowers actually pick up radioactive isotopes, so as they grow, they literally suck the radiation up out of the soil. The flowers and stems are then radioactive, so no word on if they glow at night.
8.
Several hundred earthquakes actually occur worldwide on a daily basis. They're just of such a low magnitude, 2 or lower, that we often don't notice. Or, in the middle of the ocean.
7.
Despite being taught in school that we have 5 senses, sight, touch, smell, taste, and sound, humans really have over 20. For example, proprioception is the ability to tell where your body parts are in relation to other body parts, even when you can't see them. And equilibrioception is basically your sense of balance, which allows you to stay upright when doing important things, like walking.
6.
The weight of the average fluffy cumulus cloud is a little over 1 million pounds. Clouds are made up of tiny drops of water dispersed over a large area, much larger than it seems from the ground, and water is very heavy. For context, that's roughly the weight of 100 elephants.
5.
Up until the 1960s, doctors determined if a woman was pregnant by injecting her urine into a female frog. If the frog laid eggs within a day, due to the hormones in the pregnant woman's urine, it was considered positive. Before frogs, rabbits or mice were used, but these had to be killed and dissected in order to tell if the hormones had any effect on the animal. Me personally, I prefer the giraffe method.
4.
Octopi have 9 brains, 3 hearts, and blue blood. 2 hearts for the gills, 1 for everything else, and 1 central brain with a smaller one at the base of each arm.
3.
African elephants are pregnant for 22 months. It's the longest gestation of any mammal. Some sharks, which aren't mammals, can carry their young for over 3 years.
2.
With the ability to pull 100,000 times their own body weight, the strongest creatures on Earth are actually a type of bacteria. Gonorrhea, to be exact.
1.
There's a species of beetle, the Bombardier beetle, that shoots a boiling hot chemical mixture at its enemies by mixing hydroquinone and hydrogen peroxide together, which are stored separately in the beetle's abdomen until needed. It literally farts fire at you. They live on every continent except Antarctica.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.